This is Flip Lesson 16 for the 6th grade. Today we're looking at estimation and rounding. Hopefully a pretty simple concept, but one that can often be confused. Let's take a look. When it comes to rounding, usually there's a place value that you need to round to. So if we look at our first number here, 432, and I ask you to round to the hundreds place, the first thing you need to do is you need to find the hundreds place, which is the 4 there. The next step is you need to think about the rules that go with estimating and rounding. We know that if it is greater than 5, we're going to round up. If it is less than 5, then we're going to round down. And so as we look at our number, we're rounding to the hundreds place, so we're looking at that 4, so we're going to look back one number at our 3. 3 is less than 5, that means we're going to round down, which means our rounded number is going to be 400. If we look at our second example, we see 671. We're once again going to round to the hundreds place, so we're looking at the 6 here. We're going to look back one number at the 7. Since 7 is greater than 5, we're going to round up, and so we have this for an answer. The next idea we look at is, what if I just ask you to round to the tens place? Here we're looking at the tens place, and so we're going to look back one number. It's a 9. 9 is greater than 5, and so we're going to round to 320. Next number, 549, once again round to the tens place. So we find the tens place, we look back one, we notice it's a 9, greater than 5, so we're also going to round up again. And so we have that basic principle of rounding. We can also use rounding in word problems and estimating word problems. For example, if Timmy received $20 for losing a tooth, while all he wants is his teeth back, he went to the store to keep his mind off his missing teeth. He chose 3 items to purchase: an action figurine for $5.69, a movie for $9.98, and a new ball for $3.50. Use estimation to determine if Timmy has enough money to purchase the items. As we look at this, we want to know if $20 is enough money to buy these different problems. So we look at our first number, and we want to use some estimation or rounding to get a whole number that's easier to add than $5.69. We're going to round to the nearest dollar. So if we look at our 5, we look back 1, we see a 6. That tells us to round up. So our first number is $6. Second number, once again, we're still going to the nearest dollar. And so we look at the 9, look back, there's 9. So once again, we're going to round up again. And so we're adding $10 now. And finally, we look at our last one, 3. We're looking back at the 5, also rounding up again. And so we have $4. And so then we can add these 3 numbers together, and it equals $20. And so the question asked, if Timmy has $20 and our estimated price is $20, does he have enough money? And of course the answer would be yes, as long as we don't take into account tax. But we're not going to. Moving on. The last place that we use estimation and rounding to a great extent is when we're looking and comparing things on charts. And so you see a chart here, and off on the left you see it says we have a population by the thousands, and then we have some dates down at the bottom showing how those populations have changed over time. And the question that we says, according to this graph, how many more people lived in Tigerville in 1950 than in 1930? And so we're going to use estimation to help us figure this out. First, we can start in 1950, and we can see this is what we're looking at. And we can look over here to see that it is about 12,000. And so we can write that to start our problem. And then we can look at 1930, And 1930 is also very close to the 4,000, so we can write 4,000 here. And now we can subtract these two numbers and get a solution that 12,000 minus 4,000 is 8,000. And so, according to our question about how many more people lived in Tigerville in 1950 than 1930, there would be about 8,000 more people. And so we have those ideas. That is it for flipped math lesson 16 for the 6th grade. Estimation.